Founding member of the band Autograph, Steve Lynch, joining me. I had the opportunity to interview Steve a few times over the last handful of years, and always enjoyed chatting with him, always enjoyed seeing you guys live, and always enjoyed just, the person that you are, Steve, because a lot of times rock stars, a lot of times people in your position don't give time to the ordinary person. And, we're friends on Facebook. I've tagged you in a couple of things, and you actually respond to your fans, which I think is cool.
Well, I just look at myself as an ordinary person. I just, have worked hard to, become a guitarist, and I appreciate all the fans out there so much. I mean, I feel it to be an honor to have people listen to me and actually like what I'm doing.
Do you still get a kick out of when people come up to you and say, "Are you Steve Lynch?"
Yeah, absolutely. I still love it, of course. It's one of those things where the recognition and respect that you receive, the excitement from that never goes away.
A lot of people get a chance to do some really cool things. Over the years of me being in radio, I had the chance to actually broadcast from inside of a bridge over the Mississippi River while they were building this bridge. I'm guessing that you've had the chance to do some cool things that the average, ordinary Joe hadn't had the chance to do.
The main thing is just the traveling. And just being able to get up on stage and play to such a enormous amount of people. And it wasn't only with Autograph. I did a lot of traveling when I did my clinics, when I was promoting my books. I have 3 books out called The Right Touch, books 1, 2, and 3, and I was promoting those, and I got to travel to 20 different countries and do 325 cities.
Oh, wow.
So that was great. It's a blessed life, it really is. That's the way I feel about it. I'm very thankful.
Steve, a lot of times when people think of rock and roll, they think of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I'm not going to ask about the typical question that most people ask, but I do want to ask about, seeing some of your friends and some of the, people that you've played with over the years, succumb to drug addictions and things like that. Is it hard to be on stage and be on the road and kind of keep a clean and free life?
Well, it is. It was during the 80s. My thing was I was just, sometimes I drink too much, but I was kind of lucky in the fact that I just didn't like cocaine. I just didn't like it.
Right.
And so that was fairly easy for me to stay away from. Not that I didn't try it, but it was easy for me to stay away from. And I was just more into focusing on, playing guitar and just putting on a good performance. And I've always just kind of kept my mindset that way. It is difficult to also see other people go through the hardships that heavy drugs, cause in their lives. And it just becomes very important. You see people go downhill very fast. And when they do try to come back, they're not quite the same as they were previously. So, that is a sad thing.
Is the music business different now than it was in the 80s?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the business is definitely different. You're dabbling into all these different aspects of the music business and trying to be a musician and a songwriter all at the same time. Like with Autograph, I was, basically the general manager, the tour manager, and the business manager. I mean, I'm the one that was the liaison in between, all different aspects, the endorsements, the booking agent. I did most all the interviews, and then I took care of all the banking. I paid everybody. I did all the business, taxes, and everything. So, there was a big burden.
Well, let me ask this then, because I think that the big thing now is that you have quit the band Autograph. So you've stepped off from performing. Are you still a part of the band even though you're not playing with them, or have you basically cut ties altogether?
Oh, well, I basically cut ties altogether. I wanted to move on to something different. And one thing my fiance, Elena, told me is that I thought was a really good analogy of if you have a CD in your car and you play it over and over again for 35 years, eventually you want to change that CD in your car.
Right.
And go on to different things. You want to listen to something different. Because, I just got tired of playing the same songs, doing the Autograph thing. I look at myself like I have a lot more to offer than what I was contributing to Autograph. And another thing I want to point out is with the last album that we did, Get Off Your Ass, that was mainly all written by Simon. My writing was going in a completely different direction at that time as it is now. So it didn't sound like Autograph at all. I mean, not at all. It was a completely different thing. It's his guitar playing on it. A lot of people say that it doesn't sound like my guitar playing at all. Well, that's because it's not. That's Simon playing guitar on that. By the time I got into the studio, I only had room to do my guitar solos and a couple rhythm parts, and that was it. And so I was very disappointed on the whole outcome. I wanted to hear it go into a completely different direction. You know, I became very disheartened at that time. That was a couple of years ago. My fiance and I talked about working together, you know, over the last several months, and because she's got an incredible voice. I wanted to just do something so different. It would be open to whatever we felt like writing. The direction we're going in is more cutting-edge world music, using different beats and everything, and not really being influenced by one genre or another. It's just doing whatever we feel like. And that's what I feel that music should really be. When somebody tries to fit into a particular genre, then they're kind of pigeonholed into that, and then they're known for that.
So is it going to be hard for you as an 80s rocker, you know, long hair, guitar playing master, to kind of change that view and to look at the whole big genre?
I have a solo album that I did, Network 23. If you type in Steve Lynch, Network 23, the numbers 22 and 3, then you can listen to the whole album, and it's a complete departure from Autograph. I love Phil Collins, Peter Gabriel. I love Moody Blues. I love Pink Floyd. One of my favorite bands is Porcupine Tree. And all of these bands have always been really experimental, and I just love that about them.
I want to ask you about your most commercial song, Turn Up the Radio.
Yes,
What was the inspiration of that? Was it to get radio play?
No, actually, that was just something that we were in rehearsal, Victory Rehearsal Studios in North Hollywood, and I just had this riff like the don't 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 don't. Randy got up and we started playing it together, the bass player, and then we came up with that do 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 do, that little part in it. The next thing you know, the other guys were sitting out there. Actually, it was the whole band, the whole original lineup. They said, "What is that? That sounds cool." I said, "I don't know, just jamming." And then everybody got up on stage and we started screwing around with it. We got the whole song together really quick. I mean, it was just like all of a sudden, okay, here's the chorus. It goes E, D, D, A, C, G. Real simple. That was the chorus part. And it goes up to E sus2 E sus4 back to the E at the tag at the end. We thought, this sounds really cool. And we played it through a couple of times, and then we thought, let's sit down and write some lyrics for this. Goofing around that manner. What we did was we started writing songs or lyrics like "Turn Up the Cassette Machine." That was originally on the first demo that we did of it. Turn up the cassette machine. That's what Turn Up the Radio officially was, and that's the way we cut it as a demo. And so, then we started thinking about it. It was not, no, that's not going to work. And then we started. Everybody was chiming in on the lyrics. I'm working hard. You're working too. We do it every day. And then somebody else would say the next line, and we'd use that. And so it was a song that was written by all five of us, just right on the cuff like that. And sometimes those are the best songs, is when it's just spontaneous like that. And it's just everybody's in that creative mode, and we just did it. And, of course, after the demo, we realized, you know what, we should probably change it to just radio, because then radio will love it. We thought, hey, radio stations will love that. But we weren't really approaching it from a commercial standpoint. We just thought it was a cool-sounding song. Then we went in and we did all the different call letters, all the, WKYZ, and, on the West Coast it was all KTLA or whatever, And we went in and we spent 2 8-hour days saying, turn it up, KTLA or whatever. We said all the call letters. We did over 800.
Really?
And, and so that was huge, because when they could play that right before the song, and then all of a sudden the song just blew up, and the radio play was just incredible. So it became number 93 on the top 100 of most played songs ever on radio. We're fortunate to have had that opportunity to at least have a really big song.
Let's focus now on your new project, the 222. So it's funny. After I contacted you about doing this interview, for some reason the number 2 kept popping up in the last 48 hours, I've seen the number 2 like 100 times. It's so bizarre. What's the
That's
meaning
what
of it?
happens. Everybody says that once they see the 222, they start seeing 222 on their clock. They start seeing it everywhere. It's just like everywhere. And what happened was my fiance, she was seeing it everywhere. She had been for years. And just before we had met, like a couple years before we had actually met, I started seeing it a lot as well. That and 1111, those two sets of numbers. And so she started mentioning, oh, God, I'm still seeing 222 everywhere. And I said, so am I. I see it every day, sometimes 4 or 5 times a day. And so it must mean something significant. We Googled it and we looked it up, and it said it means it's a new change in your life, that your angels are guiding you to a different place, to a higher realm. And I thought, that is so cool. Like your spirituality is going into another place. And that's the way both of us felt at the time as well. She came up with the idea of, let's call the project 222. And so I thought, that is brilliant, because it significantly portrays exactly what we want to get across to the people. And that's a real positive energy music, uplifting stuff, with good positive lyrics in it and everything. And I just thought that is absolutely perfect. And we're currently writing music for it. We'll be recording probably within the next 2 months. We're going to be in the studio cutting some new tracks. So right now we're in the writing phase right now. And what we're coming up with is it's like miraculous. It's like there's another energy coming through us to even write this. She sent me this lyric idea last night that was just phenomenal. And so I'm going to actually be writing on that, chords for that today. And so, everything's it's falling together so quickly. We've already got a fan base and we haven't even put out a song yet.
It sounds like you got your stuff together and you know exactly where you're going, which is really cool, Steve. I appreciate that. That's awesome. How do people find information about 222, and how do we, I tried to get you guys on Facebook, but I couldn't find the right link or something.
We're in the process of building the whole website and everything and all the social media stuff for it right now.
Okay.
The main thing we were concentrating on is the writing for right now, but we realized weeks ago that, it's time to get up the website so people know where to go, what's going on with the project and everything. So that's what we're doing right now. We have somebody working on the whole website design and everything. So that's going to be up soon.
Okay. So is there a way that we could find what you guys are doing now, or just follow you personally on Facebook?
Follow me personally, and then Elena Ray, and it's spelled ALENA RAE. And you can check out, because she's always posting stuff about, what we're doing and everything. And I'm always posting it as well.
Hey, that's so great that you guys are making this thing work and working out together. And it's I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck with their new project, Steve.
Thank you very much for that, Bob. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're having fun with it, and we really think that people are going to enjoy what we're doing, because we're being completely honest with ourselves about the music. It's all about spreading the love, and spreading spirituality and a really good positive message with everybody and sharing that. And that's a very important thing. There's just not enough people doing that right now. And the way the world is right now, I think we just need a little bit more of that.
What a great conversation with Steve Lynch, formerly of Autograph and now with the band 222. This podcast is a podcastforhire.com production.